And now, What's My Line? Brought to you by Stop at Spray Deodorant. Poof, there goes perspiration. Poof Deodorant Body Powder, the body powder you spray. The Nest Shampoo, the new flowing cream shampoo. All in the first truly functional cosmetic containers, far easier to use. All created by Dr. Jules Montagnier, the famous cosmetic chemist. Time now to enjoy What's My Line?
And now let's meet our What's My Line panel of well-known personalities whose lines you already know. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in the New York Journal-American and papers coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And on my left, our favorite publisher and humorist, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
Thank you, Dorothy. Dorothy's one of the two girls in the country that could sell more ice boxes than Betty Fournette. The other one is, of course, the lady on my left, Miss Arlene Francis.
And on my left, a gentleman just back from North Carolina, where he did a new show called What's My Mason-Dixon Line? It's Colonel Hal Dimples Block.
Well, you all just come. And on my left, my favorite news commentator, and a man who enjoys the distinction of being one of the few men who haven't been appointed to office this week by General Eisenhower. Mr. John Daly.
Thank you. Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line, presented by Stop It. Once again tonight, some folks have been good enough to come and visit us and bring with them some varied, and we hope, as far as the panel is concerned, unexpected occupations. They hope to baffle the panel and carry away some prizes. We'll also have a famous guest challenger before the panel a bit later. But right now, it's time for the experts to meet our first challenger, whose job they've got to spot. So will you sign in, please, sir? Boy, what's your name again? The chalk is breaking up, but don't let it worry you. That July, I take it, is something else. What does the July stand for?
Broda,
Julius Broda. How are you, Mr. Broda? It's nice to see you with us. May I apologize for the chalk? Should have done better than that. We'll do better next time. Now, would you tell us where you're from?
Bronx, New York.
The Bronx in New York. Well, then some of these folks on the panel undoubtedly are not strangers to you, but you are a stranger to them, and they want to know you a little better. Would you walk down in front of the panel for me, please?
Mr. Broda, are those shoulders on the level? Oh, a little bit loaded.
May I feel your muscle? Muscle's on the level.
He may be made of chalk.
All right, Mr. Broda, will you come over here and sit down next to me, please? And despite all the trouble we had with our chalk, we have let the panel get a good look at you. We know you come from the Bronx, and on the basis of that, we give them at this point always one free guess as to what your line may be. We begin the free guesses with Miss Kilgallen.
I think he's a fight manager.
A fight manager, Mr. Cerf.
I think Mr. Broda manages a bowling alley.
Miss Francis.
I think he's in the Christmas tree business.
Mr. Block.
I think he's the one who tears the paper on the Lucky Strike show.
No, I'm afraid nobody has it. We'll let our viewers at home have a further look at Mr. Broda, and at the same time, we'll tell them what his line is. But the panel's going to have to dig. Mr. Broda, what happens from this point on is every time you can give that panel over there a no answer, it costs them $5. We'll keep the record up here. 10 no's, you have won the game. One last bit of help. Mr. Broda is salaried. With that, we'll begin the general questioning with Miss Kilgallen.
Do you work for a profit-making organization, Mr. Broda?
Yes.
Do you deal in services?
Yes, ma'am.
Do your services apply to men and women both?
Yes.
Is there any product involved?
Yes.
Is it useful?
Yes.
Is it also pleasurable in some way?
It is.
Would it be found in the home ever?
Yes, it will.
Would it ever be found outside the home?
Yes.
Is it portable?
Yeah, it's portable.
When you're carrying it around, are you glad?
When you're carrying it around, are you glad? Well, I reckon when you're carrying it around, you're tickled to death, usually, yeah.
Is this a manufactured article?
No.
I would say that would be 1 down and 9 to go, wouldn't you? There's some processing, but not manufactured. Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Broder, is this product of yours taken internally?
Yes, it is.
Is it something to eat?
Yes,
Is it a solid?
yes,
Is it sweet?
sometimes.
Hold a minute. Here, we got to have a conference. Will you excuse me?
I think Daly likes this guy.
The expert says it can be sweet, Mr. Cerf. Will you continue?
Am I to gather from Mr. Daly that this is not always sweet? Sometimes it's not sweet. Is that correct?
That's right.
Is any part of this product something that grows?
No.
Like
You mean grows on bushes, trees, and that
Vegetable.
sort of vegetable. That'd make it 2 down and 8 to go. Miss Francis.
Well, if it doesn't grow in the vegetable kingdom, does it belong to the animal kingdom?
Yes.
Well, animals grow.
Would one buy this ever in a butcher shop?
No.
Not a butcher shop, no. 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Block.
This is from the animal. Would you eat this at, let's say, the dinner meal?
Yes, you would.
Would you ever eat this at the luncheon meal?
Yes.
You're a hungry fellow, aren't you? Could children eat this too?
They would.
Oh, now I don't know what the heck I'm talking. Could we have a conference?
You may have 20 seconds for a conference.
Well, ask if it is a meat course. If it comes from the animal kingdom, it's either meat or fish or something.
I mean,
Dorothy
I think
has
maybe
a
it could be...
weenie.
Well, if you wouldn't buy it in a butcher shop, it must be either some very odd kind of meat or fish, I would think.
I think it may be fish.
What do you think?
Or a very exotic
Ask
bird.
if it has
Lost
fur.
in thought.
All right, the 20 seconds are up. Mr.
Fur,
Block,
all
will you
legs.
continue the general questioning, please?
Is this sort of a different type of animal than any we ordinarily come in contact with?
This is an animal you could ordinarily come in contact with. That would make it 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Does this animal ever live in or near the water?
It does.
Would it be some type of a fish food?
Yes.
Well, does it ever go into the water?
Does it ever go into the water?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I reckon it goes into the water, yeah.
It's a swimming type fish.
Swimming type
Not just
fish.
a lying around the beach type of fish.
That's right. Not a poor fish.
Is this fish ever put up in cans?
Put up in cans.
She means canned France.
You know, almost every kind of fish is put up in cans.
Well, I think we can give you that on the basis that almost every type of fish is.
Is it ever salted or marinated?
Yes.
Oh, how did I miss it?
Could you buy it in Lindy's?
Yes, I could.
Is it herring?
Yes, it is herring. That's very good, Miss Dorothy. Now we got the herring. All you got to do is to associate Mr. Broder with a herring.
Well, does he process the herring in some way?
Well, I would say he processes it in some way, yes.
Marinates it.
He does what you do to herring.
Not a herring. What did you say?
Well, does he sell the herring after
Does he
processes
sell the herring? That will make it 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, do you pickle or marinate?
Pickle the herring. Well, Mr. Broder, you did fairly well with the prizes, but more than that, it's been fun having you with us. We hope you enjoyed your visit to What's My Line. Thanks for coming and good night, sir. Nice to see you. All right, panel, let's see what you can do with another challenger. And now may we have another challenger to sign in, please, sir. D. Matvienko. Is that right, sir? How are you? First of all, what does the D stand for?
Dimitri.
Dimitri. Where are you from?
From Bronx.
From the Bronx, too. Well, this is Bronx night.
Hey, we're
on What's My
loaded,
Line.
aren't we,
Yes.
tonight?
Well, now, you probably know some of these folks, but as was true with Mr. Broder, they would like to know you a bit better. So would you be good enough to walk down in front of the panel for me, please?
Is that a Greek name, Mr. Matvienko?
Russian.
Russian?
Russian?
All right, Mr. Matvienko, you come over here now and sit down next to me, if you will. And at this point, we always give the panel one free guess to see how they can do just from having had a look at you. We'll begin the free guesses, as usual, with Miss Kilgallen.
I think he makes samovars.
Make samovars, Mr. Cerf.
I think he's an acrobat.
An acrobat, Miss Francis.
I think Mr. Matvienko cans borscht.
Mr. Block.
I think he makes a combination of tapioca and dark glasses so it looks like caviar.
No, I'm afraid not. We'll let our viewers at home have a further look at Mr. Matvienko, and at the same time we'll tell them what his line is. But the panel's going to have to stay. Mr. Matvienko, you know the rules. Every no answer, you ring up one of the boards here. That's $5 for every no answer. 10 no's, you've won the game. One last bit of help for the panel as usual. Mr. Matvienko is self-employed. With that, let's begin the general questioning with Mr. Block.
Do you deal in services, Mr. What just happened?
Yes.
Do you do what you do to or for human beings?
Yes.
Could you ever possibly do this, what you do to me?
Brother, I must contain myself.
Yes.
Is what you do, is it more physical than mental?
That's physical.
Physical.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you worked on me, would it ever change my appearance?
No, I think we must have enough faith in Mr. Matvienko to say it wouldn't change your appearance at all. 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, when you do whatever it is that you do you do it in an enclosure?
Inside of...
Yes, yes.
Are there usually more people present than just the one person like Hal that you'd be
Yes.
working on?
Yes.
Do you ever do what you do before an audience?
Yes.
Would it be ever in a theater?
Yes.
Are you some type of performer?
Yes.
Do your performances involve acrobatics at all?
Acrobatics. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Thanks for getting that out of my way, John. Do you appear, Mr. Matvienko, in a troupe of some kind? Is there a company that you appear with?
No.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you do something that requires a lot of accuracy?
Yes.
For example, do you know how to throw those knives? Is that what
Yes.
you do? Are you a knife thrower? And do the Gazatsky at the same time, I'll bet, huh?
Do the Kazatsky at the same time is right.
Is that what he does, throw knives?
He's a knife thrower, professional
Now,
knife
about that
thrower.
last remark of yours.
Well, actually, Hal, I want you to understand that if it were to happen, I would want them to be sharp knives.
Yes.
I must say, John, that when you said that you had more confidence in Mr. Matvienko than that, it gave me an idea that he did something he had to be pretty accurate about with Hal.
Well, Mr. Matvienko...
You do throw things, though.
Yeah, he throws things.
Doesn't
Well,
he need a
what's that
company for
Australian
John?
thing that goes
John?
over here and then hits back over there?
Boomerang.
No, you say who wants... You have one other person, but it's not a company, really.
Well, if he nicks them, he has to get somebody else.
He has to get somebody else, and if you're not busy next week, I'll see if I can act for
We
you.
lose more performers that way.
Mr. Matvienko, you did only fairly well with the prizes, but it was certainly a tough occupation, and thanks for testing our panel so well. Nice to have you with us. Good to see you on What's My Line. Good night. And now, in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, we'll introduce our mystery guest. And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery guest. My friends on the panel would very certainly recognize our guest on sight, so we've provided them with blindfolds. Are the blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? And now will you join me over here, please? Panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we get right down to the business of the general questioning, which we will begin with Miss Arlene Francis.
Are you in the entertainment business?
In a way.
This is not a girl.
Have you appeared in motion pictures?
Yep.
Have you appeared in other mediums of entertainment, like television or the theater?
Yep.
Would you be considered a leading man?
What happened to Yup?
Let me see.
He's not leading.
I would say this, we'd have to base entirely on the subjective appearance of our guest. He has all of the necessary attributes of a leading man, but I'd have to ask him if he has ever actually played the leading man. Have you?
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, go on, Miss Francis.
He has played a leading man.
Yes.
Are you better known in one medium of entertainment than in another?
Mm-hmm.
Is that medium pictures?
Mm-mm.
That's 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Block.
Are you, I'm not going to get any notes for a while. Are you under 70?
Uh-huh.
Are you under, let's say, 40?
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky right now. May turn out that he's just been born.
That's why he hesitated over saying a leading man. He's probably a leading boy.
Are you in your 30s?
Nope.
That makes it 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is the medium that you're best known for one of the things that people look at or listen to at home, such as radio or television?
Yep.
Is it television?
Nope.
That makes it 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
You say you're, am I correct in that you're under 30?
Yep.
Yep.
Do you ever sing?
Yep.
Are you known principally as a singer?
Yep.
I mean, you are? Have you ever appeared in any pictures with Gene Kelly?
Nope.
That makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
All I can think of is Dorothy. Would
Yeah,
it?
Vic Damone.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
With the Vic Damone?
Put Eddie Fisher in there. Probably is, too.
Hey!
Do you wear a uniform of any kind?
Yep.
Well, Dorothy, this isn't
Oh, no.
fair. I have to give it back to Dorothy. Is it Vic Damone?
Yes.
Dorothy, I do think that, in
Oh,
all
that's
fairness, that we
funny.
ought to let you explain to Vic what happened and why Miss
Oh,
Francis
he
did
doesn't
this
know.
video.
I saw it.
Did you
Did
see
you
it?
see it? Well, then you know.
I saw it in
that's
Texas.
funny. He's good looking, too.
Well, at least you know I was thinking of you, Vic.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, now,
you
Vic...
suppose the people that are watching know that whole bit, though?
Oh, I think so. I would presume everybody who was with us tonight was with us, what? Oh,
Haven't you been?
Now, actually, I think for those who weren't with us that Sunday night, we had Eddie Fisher with us.
PFC, Eddie.
PFC had Eddie Fisher with us. And we got right up to the point we got to Dorothy Kilgallen, and she said, "It's Vic Damone." It wasn't that night. It was Eddie Fisher, but tonight we have Vic with us, and I see that you have
Corporal.
changed your line, corporal stripes here and everything. How do you like your current line, Vic?
Oh, it's wonderful, thank you. I'll be getting out in 4 months, but I would like to say, if I may, Mr. Daly, that it's been a real pleasure being here with you. And, Miss Kilgallen, I've got to come over and give you a little kiss.
Hey, he's doing me.
Really, because I was very thrilled the night I saw your show.
Well, thank you, Vic.
Very thrilled.
Well, Vic,
And may I say something for the Army?
that you may.
May I? Lots of fellows are making the Army their career because they're finding lots of adventure and security. He must be a sergeant.
There is a sergeant.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Vic. Very nice of you to come and see us. And actually, one of the really nice things about our United States Army is that nice fellows like Vic Damone and Eddie Fisher can be in it and come out and visit with us and speak so well of it. And now let's see what we can do with another challenger. Will you come in, please, and sign in? Orrin South. How are you, Mr. South? Where are you from? Cincinnati, Ohio.
He's from the north?
Yeah, he's from the north, but his name is South. Well, would you go a little bit due east over there and take a look at the panel, and let the panel take a look at you, please?
Mr. South, may I see your label to see if you buy your clothes where you come from?
He does, thank you.
Miller.
All right, Mr. South, will you come over here now, please, and join me? And on the basis of that label you've got in there and your fine general appearance, at this point, we'll give our friends in the panel one free guess as to what your line may be. We'll begin the free guesses, as usual, with Miss Kilgallen.
I think he manufactures ball bearings.
Ball bearings, Mr. Cerf.
I think he helps Mr. Stern make Red Cross shoes in Cincinnati.
Ms. Francis.
Well, I think if he's from Cincinnati, he puts the precision in Gruen watches there.
Mr. Block.
I think he's a football coach. He gives pointers to West Point.
No, I'm afraid nobody has it right. We'll let our viewers at home get a further look at Mr. South, and at the same time, we'll tell them what his line is. Now, Mr. South, you know the rules. You heard me explain them. Every time you get that no answer in there, I'll ring up one of these $5 bills. Here, 10 no's, and you've won the game. The usual last bit of help, Mr. South is self-employed. With that, we'll begin the general questioning with Bennett, Cerf.
Mr. South, is there a product involved in what you do?
Yes.
Is it a useful product?
Yes.
Well, this being the beginning of the holiday season, might you use your product as a Christmas present?
Yes.
Could. Does it come in different sizes?
Yes.
Different colors?
Yes.
Would it ever be used for relaxation?
Yes, it would be useful.
I'm being led on here.
You sure is, boy.
You're getting
Is
South
this
too.
product the sort of thing that your wife might like to see you in around dinner time?
No, I don't think we can say your wife would like to see you in this around dinner time. That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis, and we have about 3 minutes to go.
Would I deduce from that that this is not something to wear?
Yes, you may deduce from that this is not something
Not
to wear.
something to wear. But you could buy this at a store, could you?
Yes.
Could you buy it in a department store?
Yes.
If it is something that your wife would not want to see you in at dinner time, is that how you put it? Is it something that she might not mind your using?
I can't think of any circumstance. No, I'm afraid she would mind, don't you?
She would
Yes,
mind,
I think
definitely.
she would. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Block.
Would mostly men probably use this?
Mostly men probably use. No, I would say that it's used by both sexes. 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
If this is unsuitable for Mr. South to wear at dinner time or any other time, would it be suitable if he had children for them to use?
To wear it?
No, not to wear, to use. I know it's not wearable. I'm
Would
sorry.
it be suitable for them to use?
To use or to...
Well, yes, children could use it, yes.
Well, would this ever be used by any other living thing, not necessarily human?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Would it be used by animals?
Yes.
And it's for relaxation and comfort?
Yes.
Well, it's one of its use. I mean, the question was posed, could you relax? And we said, yes, you could relax.
Is this something that you might give to a dog for Christmas?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it decorative as well as useful?
Yes.
Is it something for the dog to curl up on?
Curl up on?
Or in?
That would be 4 down and 6 to go. I'm sorry, Mr. Sir.
Well, I think Dorothy set this up for me. If it doesn't curl up on it, might it curl up in it?
Yes.
This wouldn't be the place where husbands who are out late are put. The doghouse.
What is it, Bennett?
You got something to do with the doghouse?
That's right. Now, what has he got to do with the doghouse?
He's in it.
You make doghouse?
He makes doghouse. Mr. South, the panel was very, very sharp tonight. You've done fairly well with the prizes, but we hope also that you had a good time. It was nice of you to come and visit us because it was good having you with us on What's My Line. Good night. Thanks for coming, sir. Very good, panel. With that one, we thought we'd give you a good deal of trouble. And now, in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you a preview look at one of our guests whose line our panel will be asked to try and identify on next week's program. And next week at the same time, our panel of experts will be asked, what's my line by this man? Would you know what his occupation is? Could you spot his line? Well, for the answers to these and a good many other questions, be sure to be with us again next Sunday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when once again, Stopette invites you to play What's My Line? For other localities, check your local listings for the date and time of our weekly series, and don't forget, What's My Line on CBS Radio on Wednesday night. Until we see you again then, this is John Daly saying good night, Dorothy.
Good night, Bennett.
We'll be checking up on you in Kalamazoo Wednesday, Dorothy. Good night, Arlene.
Good night, Colonel Block.
Now, about that doghouse, when can we come in for a fitting, John?
We have one ready-made for you, and good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production in association with the CBS Television Network.